We're going to simplify the square root of 3 over the square root of 5 minus 3. To simplify this one, which will be to rationalize it, we need to use conjugates. We know we need to use conjugates when there are two terms in the denominator with radicals. So a reminder, the conjugates are a plus b times a minus b, and they're conjugates because they equal a squared minus b squared. That's what we're going to use, the conjugate of the denominator. Looking at the denominator, it is the square root of 5 minus the square root of 3. We're going to multiply by its conjugate, the square root of 5 plus the square root of 3. We have to do the same thing to the top that we do to the bottom, so that we are multiplying by 1. Notice the only difference between the conjugates is the sign in the middle. That's all we have to change. The rest is the same. So if we multiply out the top, the square root of 3 times the square root of 5 is the square root of 15. And the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 is just 3 without any square roots. Looking at the bottom, we can use our conjugate formula, which we wrote down at the beginning, because we're multiplying two conjugates together. So we take the first term, the square root of 5, and we square it, minus the second term, the square root of 3, and we square it. So continuing to simplify the denominator, leaving the numerator alone. When we square a square root, those two things cancel out. On the bottom, the square root of 5 squared is just 5, and the square root of 3 squared is just 3. Taking that down one more step, because now they are just numbers we can subtract. 5 minus 3 is 2. To finish this off, often what we want to do is then take it down one more step, which is to have two separate fractions. Square root of 15 over 2 plus 3 over 2. And this way, at that point, if there were anything in the top and the bottom we could cancel, we can now do that. In this particular case, there's nothing to cancel, so we are finished with our simplified answer.